Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, March 31st, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. While we were gone, a long duration M9.4 solar flare occurred from an active region turning around the limb. That means no coronal mass ejection headed towards Earth, which is good news. The bad news is a new calculation for the Path of Totality has moved some cities, well, out of totality. Keep calm. It's boom time. A major storm to sweep the United States with severe weather, snow, and flooding for the beginning of April. The storm has already produced downpours, flooding, and heavy snow in California, and these severe storms may bring tornado and damaging hail threats to Oklahoma tomorrow. Not only that, heavy rain, strong winds, and hail with isolated tornadoes are possible Monday into Tuesday for Kentucky and Indiana. Let's take a look at the forecast. Critical fire weather concerns in the southern plains, unsettled weather in the west, severe weather in the Midwest. Now, we just got back from the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange moments ago, and it is snowing heavy outside, already a half an inch on the ground. So we'll see what develops overnight. But for the rest of the country, dry, gusty conditions will support critical fire weather concerns across portions of the central and southern plains here, those areas marked in pink. And the Pacific system moves inland and continues to bring locally heavy rainfall and isolated flood risks for Southern California and Arizona, and heavy snow from the Sierras eastward into the Rockies, as it is snowing here currently. A corridor of severe weather will move across the Midwest on Sunday into Monday through the southeast like a beast. Let's take a look at the GFS model, and we will move it through. We're going to look at frozen as well as wet precipitation. You can see that system moving into the west, bringing high elevation snow and valley rain. By morning, it will have moved into the Four Corners region. Well, it already has, and it will linger as it dips south into Mexico. But this system is going to continue up with the northern portion here with some heavy snow for South Dakota and Nebraska on Monday, which will be a fun day. Let's move this through. Tuesday morning, that severe weather threat begins from the tip of Oklahoma, from the east to the west. The biggest threat is southern Missouri, though, and a little corner portion of Arkansas for Tuesday morning. Monday night, it's going to move east, bringing that severe weather threat to Indiana and Ohio. By Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, you can see that severe weather threat moving into Pennsylvania again as the system moves east and bombs out into the final nor'easter of the winter, albeit all the way in April 4th. It's going to bring 3 feet of snow or more to some portions of the northeast as the snowy systems continue to move into the west one after another into April. Holy macaroni. Let's take a look at the snowfall totals before we move forward here, because they're going to be epic. You could see that nor'easter, how much snow is going to be dumping there in the Catskills. The Adirondacks could be picking up 2 to 3 feet of snow by April 5th. And we could see regions of New Hampshire as well as Maine. It's insane, with 3 feet of snow as well. And the systems moving through now in the Four Corners region, going to be bringing a foot or more to the high elevations here before it moves through the northern tier here. Big winter chicken dinners for South Dakota. Look, at one region will be picking up about 16 inches as the system moves east like a beast. The snow for the Northeast could be record-breaking for this time of April, first week of April. I've never really seen anything like that. As system after system move into the West, adding to that snowpack for a banner rafting season once again. Shut up, Al! Get your hole! I miss saying that. Good to be back. Unusually cool March for New Zealand. Say it ain't snow, but it is. Antarctica nears minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, but they still continue to claim it's losing ice. Somehow it must be evaporating, I guess. Seismic update. With the coronal holes that we're looking at here, let's take a look at that. Multiple coronal holes on the sun facing Earth now. We should be having an uptick in seismicity. It looks like a moderate uptick right now. No large quakes happening. Interesting rumbler up here in the Arctic Circle. 4.9 in Sverdrup, islands of Nunavut. Probably pretty chilly up there tonight. And we do have a 2.7 in Lima, Montana. Nothing out of the ordinary. Normal activity worldwide as Pahala continues to rumble in Hawaii. Worldwide volcano news. Barren Island, a new lava flow today. Pictured here from Sentinel-2. Who knew? Now you do. Now we also have Nevado de Ruiz, Ibu today, puffing and passing to 7,000. Popo, Ducono to 8,000 today. Barren Island is puffing as high as 8,000 as well. We've got Semaru to 14,000. Sangay to 21,000. Reventador to 14. Fuego to 15. Holy macaroni. Pretty active day. Merapi to 15,000 feet. And the list continues to repeat. Semaru to 14, and that is the end of today's activity. As the Iceland volcanic eruption in its third week continues to go strong, you can watch it live at Live from Iceland on the Rekianis Multiview. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and tell them Diamond sent you over in the chat, and no one, absolutely no one, will understand what that means. Space weather news update. We did have that long duration M9.4 solar flare. Pretty impressive. But we are also now experiencing another severe flaring event, and there are no sunspots. This has to be coming from the limb, no doubt. No way to check this right now because it's going to be hours before telemetry comes up. But let's take a look and see what's happening here. An M3.3, M3.9 maximum just occurred. It looks like it's a short duration. So from the departing limb, the good news is none of these flares have created a CME that is headed towards Earth. In fact, the 3-day geomagnetic forecast is all quiet, and it looks like in just a few days, the sun will appear to be in solar minimum when it's actually in solar max. Grand solar minimum much? How do you like them apples? 15 places in the U.S. that just lost their total solar eclipse, while Texas gained. What does that mean? Well, a new path of totality is the orange line, meaning Three Finger Lakes region of New York has now been off limits for totality. In fact, the new totality line has moved to the west quite a bit, and a new map is out. We're going to share you the article with the new map of totality. You want to make sure, even if you're camping or staying somewhere near here, that you know where the new line of totality, that's this new yellow line, is. It has moved west due to new scientific calculations where the actual shadow will be. We're only a week out, and they tweaked it to perfect, which means it's going to be even closer to us, so we may see even more than 70% of this eclipse. We're certainly not going to end up anywhere in between the orange lines, where the largest traffic jam in world history will occur in just 8 days. Scientists are terrified when they're usually baffled, but they're terrified by what's happening on this United States coast 12 months in a row, and the consequences are coming now. How they know this is anyone's guess, because what they're basing it on is just 60 years of data, which is less than a human lifetime. According to the World Meteorological Organization, the global ocean heat content of 2024 is the highest since reliable records began 60 years ago. And they're claiming it's the end of the world, when it is literally 1/1,000,000,000% of the entire length of the Earth's history. We're all doomed. You know what else is bad for you? Meditating. A new study just came out that says deep meditation is bad for your mental health. Now, I've been in the mental health industry one way or another, whether I was a patient or part of a therapy program. But the one thing I know is that the number one thing you can do is meditate for your mental health, period. And so what do you expect the mainstream to say? Of course, the exact opposite. They don't want you to be well. They don't want you to be healthy. They want you to be a participant in their scam of bad food and pharmacopoeia, which is poison, by the way. There is no health care at a doctor or a hospital. It is death care. Now, this is a true headline. Can you believe it? Vegetables are losing their nutrients. They don't want you to grow organically or grow correctly where the nutrients are in the ground and get into your vegetables. They want to scientifically create a seed with extra nutrients in it to make the nutrient deficient plants that are being sold at the supermarket have more minerals and vitamins in it. The only problem is how much can you put on a seed, for goodness sakes? This is gobbledygook and nonsense. It drives an industry that doesn't need to exist because one already exists. It's called permaculture and organic farming, where you can grow the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Stop reading these articles. Stop watching the news. Stop listening to the headlines. They are all propaganda and lies. You want to know how to grow nutrient-dense food? You buy non-GMO organic seeds and you grow your own in your own soil that has no toxic waste, no pesticides. Well, and you will grow the most nutrient-dense, nutritious food ever. And if you eat that food, you won't get sick. And you know there are plenty of people doing it. We just got back from the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange, where hundreds of like-minded people shared millions of seeds with each other for free. Some sold the seeds because that's their business model, but you don't have to sell seeds. You can give them away for free. The entire center table was free seeds, and the vendors were awesome. Everyone comes together, supports each other. We buy from each other and bring each other up because this is the future we want to see, a future that's sustainable with nutrient-dense foods, and a future where if the electric goes out, we don't have to worry. We can work together and survive and thrive. So check out the video after the video if you haven't seen it. We had a great weekend. I want to thank everyone that came out to help out, especially Alien Allen, who showed up and put up when no one else was there to help. Alien Allen was there, and that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. We love you, and I'm sure over the weekend, thanks to all the fans that came out, we raised hundreds of dollars for a program that teaches children in the San Luis Valley how to survive and thrive by growing their own food. And that is the change I want to see, and that's a boom. We love you. Be safe.